Hello and welcome back to Oak City, the Plains and Prairies playthrough. We are back here on the AVG Farms. This is going to be the episode 4. We are going to try to head out and go ahead and make a little more money today. So turn around, we're going to spend some, make some, is the whole idea really behind today. So we're going to look at the map. We are on the second month, so looking at crops that we have to harvest that are kind of out of the way, that we're not going to mess things up, that we don't want to worry about. We do have a couple of carrot fields that are ready to harvest that I think is going to be our goal for today, plus it'll give us the equipment, or some of the equipment that we need to work on some other things, as well as we do have a ton of fields out here that we could go and flip. Well, we still have the money to do that before we commit too hard and start spending all of our money. So we're going to pick up some new equipment. Today, I think we'll jump in and we are going to go with vegetable harvesters, but instead of using, base game stuff, we are going to go with mod here. So going with the Colossus root harvester. This one's just going to do all the vegetables, going to do potatoes, beets, everything. This thing, depending on the head you put on it, you can do a ton. It's going to go a lot faster, hold a lot more, all of what we are looking for. We are going to bump up one on the engine there. Not going to go too crazy with power. Capacity, obviously, we could take this thing up to the moon. I mean, it holds, 2.5 million if you want to go crazy with it. We are just going to go up one there. Go up to the 250,000. Going to obviously help us from having to dump all the time. Keep that. Like that. We'll go with the big ones. Window tint. Let's throw some dark on there. We'll go with black exhaust. And then we'll paint this thing quick. Alright. Let's make that match the outside. Bam, that gives us a little look in there. This. Go there. Belts are fine. Interior rim color. Go black probably, and this we will set to go like that. Design color. This I'm not digging that all gray, so let's check that out. Good. Or do we want to go white here? Yeah, you know what? I think we'll go with white. Enough black on there. Although too much, looks a little too dark. Not looking for that. There we go. That'll be the new ride. 356,000, so a good chunk of change there. But this is going to open up the ability to make a ton of money and actually do it pretty quick. So, alright, we have that. Then we're going to have to go after a head. So here's the trick. You got the root, all of the different heads here. This is the trailer for the heads. We are going to go, I think, so if we go with this, our working speed is 10. We have, you know what, that's not what we want. We don't want this to take too long. We want to be able to pick up some speed doing these. That's the idea here. So we are going to go with the unrealistic. We could take this all the way up to 50 meters, which we are not going to do. We're just going to go with one. Again, go to the 10 meter. We don't need the row. We don't need that. This is going to be for vegetables. What does it look like if we go green I like that. Green is good for vegetables. Why not? And how does all that come on? That all comes out. Okay, we can keep that. Almost should put a plate on this one just for, oh, whatever it's going to tell us. We don't need a plate. Alright. Is that going to be good? That might look like a monstrosity on the front of our harvester, but that is fine. It definitely looks like a vegetable head. So there we go. That's what we want. We want it to look like a vegetable head. Looks like a crayon pack. We're going to jump in that. Turn around, take a look. Still leaves us 534,000, which is cool. We still need a fertilizer. We have fertilizing to do on fields, I think, for sure. No, we don't actually. Just that grass field, so we don't even need to worry about a fertilizer right this minute. So that's a bonus. Cool. Try to get by what we can. Sweet. We are not going to worry about buying a trailer for this thing. We're just going to drive it in third person. Obviously, first person, not a great view. You'd have to leave the head down, but we're not going to do that. So, I think we're going to go after this one. Yeah, let's go buy it. It's our best way up there. We'll go C. Are going to turn around and just absolutely, this being month 2 is going to really, now that we're getting some more equipment to fill in, it's not actually horrible looking, but we are going to turn around and just go for stockpiling some money here so that we can actually start sinking in our own fields soon. This is kind of like the year of contract work, but instead of doing contract work, we're just going to call it field flipping. And grab the fields for as much as they're worth as fast as we possibly can. Alright, so we're going to have to go down here a ways. Take a right. Is going to be the goal. That way we can actually get into sinking some big fields quick. Which is going to be the idea. Hopefully after this month we can actually start doing some of that. And get fields prepped for what will be like the first season of growth. Our first full year starting January will be the idea, so take through the end of the year to kind of build our stockpile, our equipment, and hopefully get started somewhere in there. And it doesn't take us all the way till January. I can't imagine that it will, but that's going to be kind of the goal. Alright. Where is our carrot field? How do we get to our carrot field is the real question. We're back in there somewhere. There's got to be, there looks like a lot of... Okay, we'll get to you. Alright, we need to squeeze your big self. Alright, good enough. Little stuff on the paint. No big deal. That's bound to happen. Alright, target ahead. What do we got? We are looking at 82%. It's got a decent yield bonus on it. It is 22 acres. We do have a fence in place. So, okay, we are going to jump in quick. Here we are. And just get rid of the fence because there's no point in messing with it. We're going to have to get rid of it if we're going to sell the field. But that's why we're only flipping fields that are away from, like, yeah, big picture. This fence, not going to matter. Over here by the water may be decent. Keeps you out of the water, but honestly, I'd rather have the room for the equipment. And these are wayside back roads that probably, it's not even really a road, it's just field access, so not really in need of a fence. We'll get rid of that just because it's sticking out. Cool, that should make it so we can sell it when we're done. Let's get this unfolded, get you unfolded. And then this. Let's see about knocking some of this down. Carrots should be really high yield, I would think, here. Alright, soon as this, boom, let's hit it. Alright, get that going. Again, decent yield bonus. Morning fog, a thing. September makes sense. The winds will be a change, right? September, October, we would expect to see things start to get pretty chill out. Alright. So again, this with the engine upgrade, between the engine upgrade and the unrealistic heads, is gonna let us move along pretty good. Double the width. I know that like vegetables and stuff for me are always the one that are like woof. Some of them you need 2 people. They're just really slow. It's kind of a hectic. This mod definitely takes care of that, makes that not an issue, you know. So doing root crops, which definitely pay well, are quite friendly to do using this. So hopefully they pay off pretty well. We definitely know we're going to yield a lot. I have no idea what the value is worth at this time, but where they're just going to be free fields that are away, again, where we don't mind removing fences and stuff like that, we are going to just get it and sell it. Whatever the value, we're just going to sell them. So it's all pure profit. We will not be field flipping for long, but I'm going to turn around and go ahead and field flip. I'd rather field flip off the start than turn around again and do contracts and just grind out super slow. The goal of this one is going to be much bigger, and until we're working the big fields, it's basically like we haven't even started, you know, so we're still just in that we're getting started mode, and it'd be nice to get things up and running. Fields on this map are not going to be cheap. Not that the stock fields aren't cheap or that you can't buy some outlying fields cheap. You can, but our goal is going to be big fields, so trying to get that money and the equipment to work them is the thing. And then how fast we're going to end up replacing our other equipment. Again, we're just with the fields, or with the plains and prairies equipment at this point, kind of getting things going. We still haven't even gotten into all of that equipment yet. Quite a bit of money left just to purchase the rest of that stuff. I mean, we're in the ballpark of, you know, the one tractor's $500,000, so we definitely need more money. Bank is what we need. So with that, I'm going to turn around and get this pulled up. Obviously, we are almost at the point where we're going to have to dump this already, even though it's where it's like, you know, 250,000 sounds like it's a lot until you start running root crops. And then it's like, it piles up really super fast. So hopefully we can get this. Probably bit off one more row than I should have. Nice thing is, I don't think we'll do any damage if we drive on things, this being carrots. So we should be good to go. Alright, whatever. I don't know how well that's gonna work. We'll just have to see. We'll go grab the truck quick. Ooh, oh boys. Again. There we go. fog, we will turn the lights on this truck. Just super cool looking. Really great light work on this thing, I have to say. Alright. There we go. Cruising back over. Once we get this in the field, we'll get that dumped. That is going to throw me off. Looks like a road going the other direction every time. This is where we're just going to bank on the fact that the truck has enough horsepower to get out into the field and enough traction to get out of the field. Oh, I think I need to turn there. Not really. I probably could have run down there, I guess, but I don't know where there's a field opening down there exactly. So it wouldn't have been a bad time to find out, I suppose. New maps, we'll find the shortcuts after a while, I'm sure. Probably create a few shortcuts in the process. There we go. We're in our old tracks. That's the kicker. If you fall on your tracks, you're good to go. We know we'll get there one way or another. That's gonna work. Good enough. Probably. Alright, hopefully that's good. It's working. It's gonna work anyway. And unload super fast, so that's nice. Keep this going. See, and just like that 400K that the truck holds is like, yeah, should have probably gone with the 600K and just like that, because this thing is going to be more than 50% of the truck, but that's good. Should mean we're moving a good amount here. Probably should have swung that out a hair wider. Wouldn't have hurt. Get that fire down here. Alright, we'll get this cleaned up, although I suppose this is actually going to fill up really pretty quick. And we'll be selling trailers full. So we'll see how much we get out of that coming up here. Alright, and that's going to do it for trailer number 2 for this one on this field. So we are going to run that in. We have already run the one trailer. I believe it was $161,000, something in that neighborhood is what we pulled, but we will run this one out as it's going to be our last full trailer off of this. So again, we have pulled at this point, this is 800,000 liters now in carrots that we are delivering, and then we still have what's in the machine and what's on the field, which may be even another trailer. I'm not sure. It's going to be quite a bit yet. May not be quite another full trailer, so we'll have to decide what we're going to do with that, if we want to try to kickstart some industry somewhere, or if we're just going to sell it in bulk as we have with the other. The field, surprising crazy enough, is going to over 1 million liters probably, I would assume, by the time this is done, of carrots. We could get in the 1.2 million range. So again, carrots going to be a great high yield, and as long as you got the right equipment, they don't take forever or a ton of work. at the end of the day, just having some fun playing. Gonna make us some money. It's kind of the what's up, Doc moment. Carrots, carrots, carrots. Drop that there. We'll see this one pay out quick. There we go, 161,000 on the payday. Of course, we've done that twice now, so paying out pretty well. 320,000 plus and counting. I think we were at 218 or something, so 321, and still making some progress. So the field would definitely pay for itself. If we were just looking to turn around and keep the field, it would be great because it'd already pay for itself. It'd just be a profit earner for the farm. But we don't really want to work the single fields like that again. We're trying to just get enough money to start working, you know, large fields. Is our goal. Somehow I feel like I should have turned there. No, I shouldn't have. Out in the old country roads. I think we'll dip down here though. We actually don't need to worry about driving in this field. Not going to do anything. It's not our field anyway, but we don't want to be rude to the neighbors, yeah? Alright. Woo! Feeling a few bumps. This one. There. Go ahead, unload the rest of that. I guess still 98,000 liters in here already, and a couple more swipes on the field to get cleaned up. So definitely not going to fill it, but a good bit left here. Get that fired up. Make sure that we're going here. I think we'll just clean these up with three and a half, maybe 4 swipes. It's actually probably going to be more than I think. 120, 130,000. Somewhere in that neighborhood. But then it may be more because that's actually 2 rows. So yeah. Don't want to leave anything at this point, let's be honest. If we're flipping fields, that means we're in needy mode, and needy mode means we gotta get it all. We're not gonna turn around and leave anything. But we'll get this scooped up real quick and then see where we're at. All picked up, not all filled up, but all picked up. We did end up with 150,000 liters, so I guess I was off by 25, 30,000 liters or something like that. Under, which should all fit in here, and let us get that out. We should also be able to come in here now and turn around and sell this back. Say thank you very much, whoever that was. Walter, very nice. Walter wanted the carrots cleaned up, and we got that done for him. So we'll get that there. Yeah, just selling just that bag already. 918,000. I think is where we were at. Again, that was before, or 980. Maybe we were at, we'll just say we were at $1 million before buying the equipment. Not quite, but somewhere between 900,000 and $1 million when we bought the equipment and picked up that field there. We are getting back close to that now. I want to say it was either 918 or 980 some thousand. Somewhere in that neighborhood. We're getting back close. If it was 918, we're getting really close. Hit on the car. Keep that up. Not that was sugar beet. I don't know. Probably a lot of dirt flying. These aren't even sugar beets. They're carrots. About the same thing. Root crop, you know. Probably a lot of dirt coming off. Cattle. So we need. Not really. Buying cows right off the bat is generally a great idea. But there's already cows in that barn. Although it's like $1 million, and we could turn around. To be fair, we could build cows and have more cows for cheaper. But it's kind of built into the map, so they used to go Ashley. Alright. Boom, boom, boom. Roll it in there, and what do we get? Oh, not even in that great. Yep, that's gonna definitely get it done. Okay, 100,000. So 320, 420,000. Alright, 400. I'm trying to figure out the math and turn all at the same time. Whatever, roughly 420,000 in the bank off of that field, which would have definitely paid for it. I mean, the field was, you know what, 318,000. So it paid for the field and the 100,000 probably. Another one over here. This not as good of a yield if I remember looking at this, but being that we know carrots are profitable and we have them, also that field's way off. So if we gotta delete, we don't mind deleting anything out there. So let's jump into this. The good news is we have definitely paid for the harvester, basically just like that. And now it's bank. So if we go get a little bit of extra bank with it this month, that would be great. Right, so let's get this driven over to that field and get to working on that one. Alright, so that gets us off to working in this field up here. Now we are going to turn over field 74 here. So moving on that, we'll see what we get out of that, and then we will go from there. So that's going to fill up the harvester for the first one on there, on that field that is. And then we are going to turn around and grab the trailer. Showing her if we can sneak it through. No, we're going to try to sneak it through there. Just take a little shortcut here. There we are, and our field should be right on the other side of this one. Would be better off doing this in the field trailer, but honestly it'd take quite a bit more time. And what we're trying to do here is actually just get the ball rolling. Trying to put together some field money. Nope. Now that we have production, which I don't know. I haven't actually checked on. I wonder how our little production is going. A little bit of stuff in there. Not a lot. It hasn't burnt through a lot. So, there you go. Has not had a lot of time to do its thing yet. sadly and unfortunately, as we could use income. Alright, we'll run through these, get this. Still got about half the field to go, so we are going to go a little more than a trailer full, so we'll come back as we're getting that done. That is one full trailer coming out the field. We do have a couple of carrots, looks like we missed there. We'll have to get cleaned up. This will be wagon number 1, or the first 400,000 liters coming off of this. By the time we get it all said and done, we did 1.2 million off of the other one. I suppose if we get another trailer out of here, we're looking at 2 million liters of carrots we will have harvested in this, which we may then actually end up calling it a month, taking care of what we have left on the field. But if we can pull 2 million liters of carrots and get that done, we would definitely call that a successful month's work, especially for early in the farm. Not a bad way to go about making a few dollars in the game. It should give us all the room we need. There we go. We would have just ripped the back door off. Heading out the shortcut again. Nice. And we'll get that back to the field, get it all filled up. Or as much as we can. Probably not going to fill this one. I don't know. Hard telling. This field, quite a bit smaller, I guess, than the last field, and the yield is lower, so I'm not anticipating anywhere near as much off of this field. This field comes with a lot of unused space in the plot of land. Alright, let's get that up there. Good to go. We'll offload this baby. And then we'll get that all picked. Alright, that's gonna bring us to the end of this field. So we will be unloading here. Hopefully we get it all in there. I really don't know. Turn that off. Say go. Come on, go. It's not quite as big a yield, obviously, as we expected to see there. So, no big surprise there. Though, I mean, we did already pull, 160-some thousand off of this one. We are now ready to... And get rid of that. So that is definitely going to put us up. Now we are totally profitable for sure. A couple $100,000 already to the profit as we've sold that. We still have 242,000 liters on board here. Not quite full, but should still be a nice little payday on top of that. So then we'll kind of take, we did miss a couple of heads, couple of carrots there. Not gonna be the end of the world though. We'll still call it a win. Very profitable. We'll take a look around and see what else we are looking at. Obviously a lot more fields out there that we could be harvesting, and we do still have plenty to pick up. We definitely need another fertilizer. We don't have a mulcher yet. There's so much equipment, honestly, that we don't have that it's insane. We need more and bigger tractors. We need so much The amount of money you can spend setting up a farm is absolutely crazy. But that is what it is. Alright, another $97,000. I guess we'll let the door close this time instead of trying to rip it off. And take a look at what else might look appealing. 2 fields way up here. We have a big field there. This one, what is this? Oh, parsnips. Actually, we could work parsnips with the same head that we have on right now. I don't know how that would pay or anything like that, but hard to argue against doing it because we're so close already. So I think we'll go ahead and throw that one in there as well. We'll just leave that there for now. Jump in this. Convenient since we already have the head on the thing and we're this close. I'm pretty sure this head will do parsnips, vegetable. So we will see if we can sneak that at the same time. Being that it's here and it's convenient, and so far things are paying off pretty well. Make sure we're headed in the right direction. We will have some fence to get rid of here, which I think we'll just jump right in and open it up right in front of us so we don't have to go around, because we know we're going to get rid of the fence anyway. No point in worrying about it. Again, these outlier fences, not too worried about it. In the main areas, as I've said, kind of like to keep the original look of the map, so not going to mess around with too much. Even though obviously we can rebuild fences or swap them out to something different. Alright, looks like we are good to go. Make sure that we get away with working turnips here and that this all pans out. Turnips, another one I know absolutely, like with the base game equipment, horrible to have to work. Well, not horrible to have to work, time consuming to have to work. It's crazy. I mean, picking these things 1 or 2 rows at a time, even with the big picker, looking at multiple people, or, you know, it's a time consuming effort either way you go. This machine, obviously the Colossus harvester, makes all that way more player friendly. We are just going to turn around, snatch this up, see what we get. Not a lot different here from pulling the carrots, so I think we'll just kind of get this going. I guess we'll get a good idea of yield. Looks like it's going to be very close to carrots, so we should be with a really high yield going on here, which is always a positive and what we're looking for. Whoa, 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 whoa. Big heavy machine does not come to a stop in an instant. And obviously this one normally harvesting, I think somewhere down here like 8 miles an hour or something like that. Super slow. And I think it's normally 4 meters or something like that, so you're looking at less than half of what this one is. The 10-meter head is just great. Yeah, let's just swing her around in the forward go. There we go. Making a run. We are going to get all the way around the field, so that's going to be a positive. As far as yield, this was not a high yield. I think it said 22% if I'm not mistaken there. So we are not looking at a crazy yield. Yeah, 22%. Going to be anything special on this one, but it is going to help us in the long run quite a bit. a field over there being harvested is nice. We can just run over whatever we feel like around here. And this one, unlike that last carrot field, does not have a drainage ditch on the side of it that wants to swallow our harvesters, so that's pretty cool. Again, this really all set up just to get us jump started on picking up our own properties and working fields. The only single fields that we have are the ones that we were given these two here. Not going to tie those together. Definitely easily could. One little fence in between the two of them, we could tie them together, but I'm really thinking those are going to be more along the lines of animal kind of areas, things like that, so not going to clutter too much there. Gotta think this will get our land investment going. Not filling up anywhere near as fast as carrots were. So hopefully we get a little better payout of these. But we will, I think we'll catch up with it when we get a wagon full and we are off to sell. Here we go, coming up on the last little bit of the field there. I think we have a few little misses to grab while we're at it. Little piece of row. What is that? Is that like one plant? Yep, it sure was. Alright, then we got this and a sliver of a row, I think. So we'll try to get these scooped up quick. Obviously the speed in here, if I could go with the unrealistic head size at 10 meters and the realistic speed, I'd do that, but you can't have both. So I would harvest at normal speed, but the 4 meter harvest on the stock for even root crops is a bit slow if you ask me, but what it is, so I just kind of, this is the setup for me when it comes to root things that keep them from getting like too monotonous and too boring and too all the rest of it. It's just kind of scooch right through them, and then they're a great payday. Nothing super exciting to do, but a great payday, so gets it done. Alright, bam bam. Now let's see if we can offload this property. We certainly can. There we go. Already, yeah, I mean, we're up a good 400,000 on the start of the day, so moving in the right direction. This says to me we should be breaking ground. Is it September? Either September or October here, but then we don't really have a lot of income, just that bioplastics. It's like we need to figure out what we're going to do about income and then ways to feed, obviously, the things that we have going. So the bioplastics takes a lot of different types of materials, which is great, and we can really start working with any of those. Yeah, any of those that we could start working with, we could definitely get in there. Let's go. Rough ride. A little bit of a rough ride. Buckle up. It's gonna be a bumpy ride. We are cruising 59 miles an hour cross country in a semi. Will definitely test your spine. Alright, rolling that in. Wop, 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 wop. Parsnips on their way. This tractor trailer combination, I noticed, does not have a lot of swing in the at the fifth wheel. 118,000. So we pulled what, about 270,000. Yeah, 270,000 worth of parsnips off of there. That's not a horrible kick in the teeth. Alright, we'll go back up, take a look at the map, and see where we're at here as far as other targets would be concerned. We do have those two way up top that the field, it would not bother us. I suppose they're probably more parsnips. The joy. They are parsnips. They are not super... Well, that one's actually a decent yield. How big a field was this? Exactly. That was, we'll say, roughly 24. And this is 14. So it would be about the same, probably about the same money. Take that into account. We do have this big sorghum field, but it runs on the main, so I'd rather not touch it. That does leave us a few fields down in here. This is, however, cotton, which would require a whole nother kind of harvester. Got cotton, we've got potatoes, and we've got, what is that, red beets? Red beets we do have the machine for. This would probably pay off handsomely. I mean, it is 40 acres of red beets, but what have we done so far? So we've done carrots and parsnips, and then it would be about red beets. I bet you is that the same head? I wonder if that's actually the same head. Let's go ahead and take a look real quick. Oh, it is the same head. So conveniently enough, we actually have what we need to harvest that big huge honkin' field. Let's see, what is... This is the 822,000. So that would leave us like 690. We still need... Boy, if we reinvest, what's the yield on that field like, though? Is it good? Is it bad? It's 50. It's 50-50. No. Boy, if we go after that, that's a whole nother animal. I mean, that did definitely get through our breakfast workload, I guess. So we could turn around and just effectively call it lunch, you know, and come back out and do a little more damage in month 2 here, which would really open up the gates for us going forward. I guess, I mean, at 1.5 million, we do have quite a bit of money, though, as well, as we're rolling down the road. Oh, what are those fields? Peas and wheat. So the wheat field's ready to go, not going to pay a lot. And we have the pea field. We could harvest. Those wouldn't be horrible fields to pick up, though they are not super big. Ew, we have decisions to make. Made a bunch of money. I was originally thinking we had to pick up a fertilizer, so it was going to be about picking up something to fertilize these fields with, and I figured we'd have that expense on there. Though we did turn around and pick up the Colossus vegetable harvester there, so if nothing else, I gotta move those heads. They're seriously in the way. And then we have to get something done with the farm here too, because I don't totally dig the way that this stuff is set up. We could change some of this a little bit and make it a little more convenient, I think. But realistically, I think it's more important that we get some crops in the ground, but we need to own the ground, you know? And we don't really have a ton of money, or didn't have a ton of money. Now, at this point, we do have a decent amount of money. So it's really kind of about where we want to go with it. Could probably just Baja straight across. I don't know, because we have that water there. This is a sizable chunk. 560. 567. 8. Wow, wow. So to put all that together is about $900,000. If we were to try to swing somehow putting that together. Not a horrible field, though the terrain in there is awfully wicked. Oh, hopefully we don't run into a fence here. We get around things. Oh, that's probably one of the fields we borrowed. That's why there is no more fence there. We take out the fence lines when we have to work. Let's cruise down. We probably will set up for that field, but I don't think we're going to do it on this episode. I think we'll turn around and call it pretty good here. I think that'll be where we set up for the next one. Oh, there's one of the cool rocks. Yeah, but we are up. We went up a good $500,000. Ooh. Should actually fold that up when we're driving along. We're just being lazy about it. Yeah. I mean, we turned around thanks to the nice big Colossus, you know, vegetable root crop harvester. Not sure what you want to call it. Bad blankety blank money maker is what it is. It's a money making machine that, so, you know, and with not a ton of upgrade, it's not ballistically unrealistic, but it definitely helps the solo player get along and get things done. That is pretty cool rock. These apparently can be broken for contracts and sent to the debris deal to get, you know, yeah, crushed rock and stuff out of it, which I suppose you can do lime out of, stuff like that. But we are going to turn around. Oh, there's a whole slew of them over there, too. It's like Easter Island or something. But we'll get that driven down. And yeah, I think we're just going to turn around and call it lunch. There's too many opportunities out here for us just to skip, and to go, you know what, we made it. Let's just make the money while we can, and we have it, and then get to breaking ground. So that means we can turn around and take the rest of September, snatch as much as we're going to, and then like October really start to look at hopefully plowing up fields, or even here in the second half of September probably, because we just have a few more fields that we're going to get flipped, but we'll turn around and get those flipped so that we are looking at breaking new ground coming up. And I think with that, we are definitely going to call it a win. Say thanks for tuning in. Remember, whoa, that is a horrible view. Remember, if you get a chance, like, share, subscribe. Subscriptions are free, but they sure do help the channel. Y'all have a great day.